Hello everyone and welcome back to Gore Screaming Show. I did not think I would continue this game. I finished Akane's route and honestly I thought that's the end. I'll be completely honest, Akane's route was just not good. I don't know if it was the translation, if it was just the character itself or what. I just think this game just isn't good. At least Akane's route. Thing is, I have had so many nice comments and reviews of people being like, oh, this is such a good game, oh, I love that you're playing this game, I'm so happy, I love this game, this brings back so many good memories, and I genuinely love these characters, and I was just sitting here are we playing the same game? I didn't get it! That made me be really question myself, is it just Akane? So, I've decided I will play Aoi's route. I wanted to play Kika, but I have already seen the CGs. I have some things I just don't want to see. So I look up the CGs beforehand to be are these things inside of the game? So I know what to avoid. And Kika has, I think one of her bad endings is where she just her tummy inflates and she just, and I don't want to see that. I'm not really here for it. So I decided you know what, I will do Aoi's route. I don't know if I should do load game or start from the beginning. I think I have to start from the beginning and slowly go through all of the main three girls. Let's just start from the beginning. Watch the prologue. You know what? Just skip the fucking prologue. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, I also have on my phone how to get into Aoi's route. So I will regularly be checking up my phone. So if you hear this sound, that is my keychains clanging. I'm sorry for that. There's no way to avoid that. The sky hangs high above. White clouds dot this vast blue expanse. Owing to the clear autumn air, the ridges of the mountains are easily visible from afar today too. That's Mount Nishimori, and right next to it is the shrine. Below that is the forest park, and below that is the school. I guess I do remember this place. Pedaling his bicycle, Kyoji smiles as he gazes at the scenery sailing past him. This truly is the quaint countryside. These sights never change. This place hasn't really changed in the 3 years since he moved out. There are a few differences, but all of them are minor. A liquor store has been replaced by a convenience store, and there's a chic general store where the dry cleaners used to be at the corner store. At the street corner. There's the pedestrian crossing he always had to cross on his way to school. Back when he was a kid, he made up this rule that if he could cross the road while staying on the white line, it would be a good day. Indeed, this place is exactly the same. As his spirits lift a little, his legs somehow feel lighter as they pedal his bike. This is his first time in the town of Kurahito in 3 years. He'll be reuniting with his classmates after all this time. He shouldn't think of this as transferring in, but more like he's coming back home. He might end up running into people he'd rather not see, but they were all brats back then. Things should be fine now. Oh, Kyoji. Oh, Kyoji, you are in for a ride. Now after playing Akane's route, I can safely say he should have not been this cheery. Oh, drat, I gotta hurry. The minute hand on his wristwatch is nearly pointing straight up. Kyoji leans forward, pedaling faster. His backpack's content clatter loudly as he rides away. He remembers where his school is well enough. He doesn't have to check where it is again. Right, I just take a turn here and then a right. He just needs to take a turn on the corner with that brick wall and the telephone pole. The school should be right there. That spot was where he'd often sneak out to play with his childhood friend. There's a sports ground there. It's all red-brown. A large grove, an iron bar that's so high it's out of reach. A green chain link fence they'd climb over. And past that is the school Kyoji will be attending from today onwards.
おかえりなさい。
Welcome home. He brakes hard. He just ran over someone. It's just a bike. It's gonna be fine, genuinely. His bike's front wheels just crash into something. He felt the impact for sure. He somehow manages to brace his legs, stabilizing his bike before it topples over and then hurriedly turns around. I'm sorry, are you... But what Kyoji sees next leaves him dumbfounded in more ways than one. No way. There's no one behind him, and what's more... What? Kyoji scans his surroundings. What in the... The scenery of what should have been past this corner, the scenery Kyoji remembers so vividly, is gone. Where is he? There should be a road cutting between the rice paddies past the concrete wall's corner, and past those the school buildings. Or at least that's what he should be seeing. But somehow, for some reason, he seems to be on the mountain. Looking around some more, his eyes widen in shock. He could remember pedaling at full speed down the pavement just a second ago, but the corner he just turned around is gone. The mundane shopping district he'd sailed past just earlier is nowhere to be seen. In its place, all he can see is a narrow, slightly winding trail leading into the trees. A nearby ditch is clogged with dead leaves. Cobwebs and yellow snake guards hang from the branches. Vines cover the whole place, winding and coiling around each other to form green clusters. What the hell? Where am I? Where did that girl go? Is he going crazy? Or maybe all the fatigue from moving in is starting to weigh down on him all at once. As Kyoji stands there perplexed, an odd sound reaches his ears. Feeling his bike seat lurch behind him, he looks down. Oh, come on. No, are you kidding me? It's not that his bike seat has sunk down. His front wheel's tire is visibly deflating. Seriously, why is today so unlucky? From afar, he could hear the school's bell, the very school he was moments from arriving in just a minute ago, ring out lazily. Just kill me. He's going to be late on his first day transferring in. Things literally can't get any worse than that. His class homeroom teacher, Mr. Ando, blinks a few times as he looks at Kyoji with a dejected and sedate sort of gaze that gives the impression he hasn't quite woken up yet.
Ah. 君は確か前にこの町にいたんだったな。
Ah, right. As I recall, you used to live here in Kurehito, right? Yes.
それなのに道に迷ったのかね。
And you still managed to get lost on your way here. Kyoji can only hang his head. There isn't much he can say in his defense if the teacher puts it that way. A ray of sunlight shines through the window, drawing a line of light over the linoleum floor and making the school hallway oddly bright. What happened in those thick woods earlier almost feels like a dream now. In the end, he was able to follow the school's bell and find the school from between the trees. As it turns out, Kyoji was on Mount Nishimori, right behind the school. He didn't intend to go there, but he probably got so caught up in his thought that he lost his way and ended up there by accident. Or maybe, as embarrassing it is to admit it, he was too nervous to fall asleep last night and basically ended up sleepwalking.
以前この町にいたのなら、クラスの半分は同窓生というわけだね。
If you've lived in this town before, it means that roughly half the class should be your old classmates. The teacher suddenly mutters this, pulling Kyoji out of his thoughts. He still has more to say, it seems. Yes. There are only two primary schools in the area, Kurehito East, which is the school Kyoji attended a few years ago, and Kurehito West, a municipal school. Both schools send their graduates to this high school. As such, if this school has an even mix of both school students, roughly half of Kyoji's class should be people he knows.
なら、クラスにも馴染みやすいでしょう。早くみんなと仲良くなれるように努力してください。
I'm sure you'll fit in just fine in class then. Do make an effort to get along with everyone. Ando continues speaking with an utterly unmotivated voice, his sedate gaze fixed forward. Such familiar lines and Hackney's encouragements. Teachers are probably the same no matter where you go.
転校生はとかくトラブルの元になりがちだから。だけどまあ半分が顔見知りならきっと大丈夫だね。
Transfer students tend to cause trouble, but since you already know half the class, I'm sure you'll be fine. Right. Kyoji nods vaguely, mostly because he can hardly reply any other way. The restless muttering he heard on the other side of the door settles down the moment he steps inside. So you might notice that I'm dressed a bit different. My headphones disconnected from my computer, and that made all of my nearly 3-hour recording just completely mute. I could hear the sound, but my computer stopped recording the sound completely, so I had to delete 3 hours of footage. Just pretend I am seeing this for the first time. I mean, I only saw like the first 3 hours of Aoi Route, so I only got to a certain point, but yeah, don't mind that. Don't mind this jump cut. Kyoji tries to put on an expression that conceals just how awkward he's feeling and fixes his eyes on some random spot on the ceiling.
今日から君たちのクラスメイトになる神野くんだ。神野くんは3年前までこの町に住んでいたから知っている者もいるだろう。仲良くするように。
This is Jinno-kun. He'll be your new classmate starting today. Jinno-kun here used to live in this town until 3 years ago, so assume some of you might know him. Do get along with him, everyone. Kyoji scans over the class while Ando introduces him. Ah, it's Shinta. Gazing at him with a slightly bewildered expression is his old best friend, Shinta Maki. Kyoji feels his lips curl up into a smile. He's still short as ever. He never did like his milk. Kyoji's eyes continue scanning over the classroom, spotting more familiar faces. Oh, Akane. As a certain memory flashes in his mind, Kyoji furrows his brows. Kazuyagi Akane, another childhood friend of his. This isn't that surprising. It's a school in a small town, so there aren't that many separate classes. Kyoji averts his gaze before he can confirm what kind of expression Akane has on her face. Kyoji. Oh, come on, I'm in the same class as Akane. He's such a piece of shit. Looking away from her, Kyoji's gaze falls on a gloomy-looking but familiar girl in the window seat on the other side of class. I am coming for Aoi, and I am so sorry to her. I feel so bad. Knowing just a bit about Aoi, I feel so bad that I'm targeting her as Kyoji, because Kyoji... I want to leave her alone. I personally want to get to know her better, but Kyoji, I want Kyoji to leave her alone. He is the most annoying piece of shit known to mankind. He is so fucking annoying. I hate this man with a burning passion. I cannot explain how much I hate this man, but as you get further into the game, I hope you can understand just why I hate this man so much, especially in Aoi's route. I mean, with Akane, they're kind of built for each other because they're both so stupid and so irritatingly just... Oh, I hate them both. They are so dislikable, both of them. So they're kind of made for each other. But with Aoi, just leave her alone. Let her be alone. Don't annoy her. Genuinely, he is such a parasite. He can't quite remember her, but gets the feeling she used to be his classmate too. And he doesn't even remember anything about her. And she's just sitting there like, wow, you just genuinely forgot everything about me, even my name, everything? Okay. Damn, okay, I guess. Like, he just genuinely acts like she never existed, and she was there his whole childhood. But he acts like he and Akane are like best friends, he knows everything about her, but he pretends like Aoi never existed. And she just has to sit there and be like, this is fine. I totally haven't been around the same amount of years as Akane has next to you. This is fine. Letting his gaze wander further, he spots an unexpected face seated near the back of the classroom. Wait, is that Misono-san? I really want to play Kika's route. She seems to recognize Kyoji too and stares at him with round eyes. They're not really round though. She's a classmate of his from his old school. She moved out about 6 months ago. What a coincidence. He never expected to run into her here. I have hay everywhere on my socks. Just seeing someone he'd met relatively recently puts him at ease.
Jinno-kun, 自己紹介して.
Jinno-kun, if you could introduce yourself, please. At Hando's prodding, Kyoji steps up to the teacher's podium. I'm Jinno Kyoji. My parents had to relocate abroad because of work, but since I didn't want to move away, I decided to stay in Japan. That said, I think some of you already know me. I hope I can get along with everyone. I have said this about 6 or 7 times already. I have re-recorded this opening scene so many times, I think I'm gonna go fucking insane. Despite trying to make himself seem indifferent, he's actually quite curious and excited as he walks past his new classmates and settles into his seat. Knowing what's about to happen, you shouldn't be. You should just leave. An hour passes by, it's English class. Honestly, I really love seeing Ando in his little like blurry self. He looks so goofy like this. Quite a bit of it already over since Kyoji was late, but thankfully the first class was Ando's. I'm sleepy. Kyoji stifles ill. Oh. He feels ill at ease, like he's wearing a set of clothes he's not used to. And despite that, sleepiness washes over him just the same. It's the very definition of a dull class. All the teacher's doing is reading from the textbook. Kyoji can spot students all over the class peering unabashedly at their phones. I could never have that. In us, like no matter what school I went to, you could not be on your phone. The school Kyoji's attending in big city wasn't one of those high-level schools meant to prepare students for university entrance exams, but the teachers there did care a little more about discipline. Yeah, like, the schools I went to, they would not allow you to have your phone. Like, most schools I went to, like, even before exams or anything, they would confiscate all of our phones, like, just so we couldn't cheat or anything. And, like, every time we had, like, an important lecture or something, they would mostly, like, take our phones, just for safety reasons. Like, oh, you are listening, right? This school uses the same textbooks as his old one, and actually seems to be a bit further ahead on the materials, but since all they're doing with it is dryly reading it out loud, it's not actually sinking in. Yeah, I fucking hate that. Like, I'd rather the teacher just, like, goes off topic, but, like, explains a bit more. All in all, the way this class is run just seems half-hearted. I mean, they're not really doing shit in this school. Damn, Kyoji, what have you been taking? Whoops! That was close. Everything went blurry for a second. Kyoji, what are you doing in school? Kyoji looks around the classroom, seeking distraction from the sleep-inducing lecture. Who was she again? She looks familiar. With his chin resting on his hands, Kyoji turns his head to the window seat. Yeah, I love how Aoi has a window seat. Like, she is so anime coded. If she was in a different game, she would have been such a popular character. And, like, further in the game, it just proves my point. Like, if she wasn't in this game with such bad writing, she would have been such a popular character. Like, she looks like a character that would have been, like, in Evangelion. You know, like, if she was in a different series, Kyoji would have been so popular. She even has the windowsill and all, like, come on. I mean, it's not really the windowsill, like, there's people closer to the window. She should have been a bit more closer to the window. It's not really the window seat. One of the girls keeps sneaking glances at him. Her soft hair hangs over her large, downcast eyes. She's pretty cute, although she has a timid air to her. Looking at her, he gets the feeling she's a little unnerved. I would be as well if I knew who Kyoji was. And indeed, when Kyoji's gaze meets hers, she turns her eyes down to the floor. I mean, can you blame her? Kyoji, look at yourself. She looks familiar. Have I met her somewhere before? Think, Kyoji. Think. Maybe she was his classmate before he moved away. He honestly can't remember any other girl except for Akane, but it seems like this girl might remember him. Genuinely, I think if the shrine event didn't happen between him and Akane, he would not even remember Akane. He is that much of a piece of shit. Kyoji genuinely has no redeeming qualities to him, and I think that he genuinely just remembers Akane because of the shrine event, just because his dick got hard. That's the only reason he remembers Akane. That's how irredeemable of a piece of shit he is. Just because his dick got hard to her. That's the only reason he remembers Akane. And like, honestly, I think, I genuinely hope that he didn't have a similar event with Aoi, because that would be even sadder. Like, imagine his dick got hard to Aoi and he still doesn't remember her. Like, that would be so fucking sad. Like, can you imagine? You, like, fucking abused her and you still don't remember her. Like, oh my god. Like, honestly, that would be kind of good writing in this series, because that would kind of show, like, just how much of an irredeemable piece of shit the main character is. And you would be like, wow, okay. Holy shit. Like, as much as I hate him, that would kind of just, like, solidify his character a bit, but, like, at the same time, I kind of don't want it, because poor fucking Aoi. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. But, like, even without it, you still can see, like, what type of character he is. Even with this, like, come on. How can somebody play this game and be like, yeah, I'm loving this. I'm playing this game. I'm loving this game. Fucking hate this man. Kyoji stifles another yawn. I'm also yawning as well because I'm fucking tired. I already went to the doctor's in the morning and goddamn, I'm tired. By the time class ends and break starts, Kyoji starts feeling as if some kind of invisible worm has formed around him. The little girl, has she already got him? Is Gore already around him? He knows half the kids in the class, so why does he feel like such an outsider? He knows everyone else is aware he's there. He can feel them staring holes into his back the whole time. So why won't anyone approach him? Do you blame them? If I knew who you are as a person, I would not approach you. Ever. Just saying. Awkward. He decides to just leave the classroom. Just leave the fucking school. Leave this town. Let them rest. With that thought in mind, Kyoji gets to his feet. Just then, part of the invisible wall crumbles.
Yeah.
Hey. Akane, I wish you never spoke to him. It's Akane. Standing behind her is the gloomy girl Kyoji spotted in class early. I kind of want to speak to, like, an Akane fan. Like, somebody who's, like, very hardcore into her, but, like, not in a way, like, oh, it's cute girl who I can fuck kind of way. It's a person who, like, psychoanalyzes her. Like, I want to speak to them, like, but why do you like her? Why the fuck would you like her, though? Like, To me, she's just like this very stupid, irredeemable girl. I want to speak to a person who's just like, who spent countless hours psychoanalyzing her character, making theories, like reading all about her and like just trying to figure out like why she is the way she is. Like I want to know like why is she this stupid? And like maybe the person who has spent so long trying to figure out why she is the way she is would be able to explain to me. And maybe they would be able to make me rethink my judgment about her. But like, yeah, genuinely, like, right now, I just think she's one of the worst characters I've ever met in a visual novel. Like, it's just sad. I want to know, like, why do people like her? Like, if you are an Akane fan, please, could you tell me, why do you like her? I just want to know. Like, why do you like her? Hi.
久しぶりじゃん。
It's been a while. Yeah, it has. I don't manage just to reply casually. Kyoji's heart is very much beating fast. He didn't think Akane would approach him on her own. She shouldn't have. Especially after what's happened, she shouldn't have.
おじさんとおばさん、外国行っちゃったんだ。
So your parents are working abroad? Yeah.
どこ？
Where? America. Every time in an anime or a visual novel anywhere where a character goes abroad or their parents leave them or anything, it's to America. They always go to America.
今時？テロとか大丈夫？
Really? Nowadays? Aren't they worried about terrorist attacks or something? I don't know. They just say they'd be away for a while. Mom acted like it was as much of a sightseeing trip as anything else. Really? The conversation comes to an abrupt stop. She really isn't cool with me, huh? Well, that makes sense given what happened. Kyoji. After all, Akane might be all smiles now, but she's clearly refusing to look him in the eye. Why did you even come up to him to talk? I just don't get it. You don't need to play the good girl. Just pretend you don't know him, honestly. Just put on like... You know you can fake it. You don't have to be friends. You can just be acquaintances. Like, there is a thing like that. Like, even if you know the person, you can just be acquaintances. You don't have to be friends with the person. Like, that's the thing a lot of people don't understand, and I wish a lot more people understood. Like, even if you know a person, like a childhood friend you just had a bad thing happen with, like, you just had an event happen with, like, for example, what Akane and Kyoji had happened. If you, like, moved away for a while and then came back and you met them again, you can just pretend nothing happened, but also not be friends again. Like, you can't just be acquaintances and only talk when it's necessary. You don't have to be friends again. You don't have to talk as if nothing happened again. You don't have to, like, talk daily again, all the time again. You can't just be acquaintances. You can't just talk when it's necessary, like, only if you need to, like, talk in a classroom setting, like when it's a group project, when the teacher tells you, like, oh, you have to be a pairing or like a group or something, like, only then. Or if a teacher is like, hey, you take this paper to this person, like, you just give them the paper, like, hey, the teacher told me to give you this paper. Like, it's fine. It's fine to just talk only like that. You don't have to be friends. You don't have to talk all the time. Like, it's fine to just keep a distance. And a lot of people just don't get it. It's just fine to not be friends again. And, like, a lot of people either go the route of like, oh, we have to fake be friends and like pretend the trauma never happened. Or they go the route of like, oh, we have to be arch enemies and hate each other and like pretend we're gonna kill each other every time we see each other. Like, they go two extremes. And these people don't understand that you can just go the neutral route. Like, you can just like not talk to each other, but like still be in the same space as each other. And like, yeah, maybe this is why Akane just felt the need to talk to him, because she just didn't realize like you can just be acquaintances and you don't have to force each other to talk to each other. Like, you can just be like, okay, we were friends before that thing happened. We don't have to talk to each other though. Like, maybe that's why she just felt the pressure, like, oh, but we have to talk to each other, like, because we were the most close, I guess I have to talk to you. Maybe that's why. She's so stupid. God damn it. Oh, what's the fucking name?
Kyoji! Nebosuke Kyoji!
You're a doofus, Kyoji, and a sleepyhead. She wasn't like this before. God knows why, Kyoji. She used to always be familiar with him, too familiar, enough for them to scuffle. And though he knows it's only natural for her to treat him like this now, the realization things have changed saddens him. I wonder why, Kyoji. Maybe it's because you just fucking, like, had that thing happen. Which, if you just weren't a fucking weird piece of shit, and didn't just up and leave Akane like a piece of shit, and also didn't just leave the village, and didn't, you know, stop all contact with her, and then suddenly reappear after 3 years again, maybe she wouldn't treat you like this now. I wonder why she just acts a bit different. Ah, well. Unable to deal with the mood for even a moment longer, Kyoji changes the subject, directing his attention to the girl standing behind Akane. Excuse me, but I used to know you, right? What was your name again? This man. Irredeemable. Irre-fucking-deemable.
ちょっとKyoji、あんた覚えてないの？
Kyoji, what? Don't you remember her? Akane glances at him, placing her hands on her hips in an exasperated gesture. Ah, I'm sorry, I forgot. Akane becomes oddly talkative all of a sudden.
信じらんない。この子ずーっとクラスも一緒だったじゃない。私ともずっと一緒にいたんだよ。Kyojiだって話したことあったでしょ？
I can't believe you. She was always in the same classes as and hung out with me all the time. He talked to her before, remember? Oh, maybe because he didn't get a boner because of her. That's why he just didn't remember her. Because Kyoji obviously thinks with his fucking boner, you know? I wonder if Kyoji got a boner with Shinta. That's the only reason why he remembers Shinta.
薄情なやつ。ねえ、葵。
You're all sorts of awful, don't you think, Aoi? It seems this girl's name is Aoi. Aoi doesn't react in particular, seemingly directing an upturned glance at Kyoji. Now that she mentions it, Kyoji does remember how the three of them were once together back then. She's probably a friend of Akane's, probably. Akane just said she was always with her. Sorry, I forgot. What was your last name again? Namiki. Namiki Aoi. I won't forget it next time. Really? I'm sorry. Kyoji apologizes, only for Aoi to wordlessly shake her head. She's clearly a very quiet person. Just then, someone else chimes in and starts speaking to Kyoji.
Yo, Kyoji. 元気だったか?
Hey, Kyoji, you doing well? Yo, Shinta, what about you?
じゃあね、Kyoji。
See you, Kyoji. Yeah. Akane walks off, like Shinta has just stepped in to replace her. Shinta scratches his cheek with an oddly bothered expression.
教授、3年見ないうちにでっかくなったな。
You sure beefed up in the 3 years you've been away, Kyoji. I have, you...
うん、なんかすげえ雰囲気変わった。別人みたいでびっくりした。
Yeah, it's kind of shocking actually. It's like the air around you is all different. Like you're someone else now. Kyoji was about to jokingly say that Shinta hasn't changed one, but he manages to swallow those words. You better fucking... shut up. Has that really changed that much?
うん、大人っぽくなったっていうかさ、この辺のやつじゃないなって感じがする。
Yeah, you look more mature, like you're not from around here. You're imagining stuff.
そっかな。話しかけていいもんかどうか、これでも結構悩んだんだぜ。
You think? I really wasn't sure how to approach you, you know? Similarly, Kyoji wasn't sure if he should approach his classmates either. But did he really change that much over the last 3 years without even noticing? Is that why everyone's been keeping their distance? God, dealing with this is so annoying. Oh, but I'm relieved, you know? This place hasn't changed much.
ちょっとは新しい店なんかもできたけどな。
They opened some new stores though. Yeah, but it looks as peaceful as ever. Peaceful, huh? Shinta, who'd been speaking awkwardly until now, suddenly frowns at that comment. What's wrong, Shinta?
うん、それがさ、最近はこの辺もそう平和でもないんだ。
It's just that it hasn't really been that peaceful around here recently. Did something happen? Shinta brings his face closer, his expression a bit reluctant.
この間から妙な事件が起きてるんだ。
There has been these weird incidents recently. Weird incidents?
ここ2週間で女の子が2人行方不明になってる。
Two girls went missing over the last 2 weeks. Huh? For real?
1人は小学生の女の子、1人は高校生。新聞にも載ったぜ。知らなかった？
One of them was a primary school and the other was a high school. It was in the papers too. Haven't you heard about it? Kyoji shakes his head, which makes Shinta seem awfully proud for some reason. You call them weird incidents, but wouldn't that just be
誘
kidnappings?
拐かもしれないけど、身代金の要求も来てないし。
Maybe, but no one has asked for ransom. Maybe it's some freaks who think he's pulling some kind of
かもし
prank.
れない。でもさ、何が変って、その子たちが消えた時の様子が変なんだ。これは新聞でもテレビでも出てないんだけど。
Could be, but either way, the way those girls were missing is pretty strange, and that's something that the papers and the news aren't talking about. Just then, Shinta suddenly furrows his brows.
あ、こっち見てる。
Oh, he's looking this way. Who?
あいつ、貞島。
That guy, Sadashima. Following Shinta's line of sight, Kyoji's gaze settles on a group of kids who are the very image of delinquents, all of whom are staring at
あ
him.
の真ん中にいる馬面のやつ、いるだろ。あいつが貞島。
See that guy sitting in the middle with the horse face? That's Sadashima. Honestly, Sadashima was the only reason why I kind of survived Akane's row, which is fucking ironic. Really ironic. Because in Akane's bad ending, Sadashima, for like 5 seconds, was entertaining when his mind kind of broke. When he found out that Akane was not pure anymore, like she was just straight up guzzling dick. Like that was probably the only entertaining part about Akane's row, and like I was playing the game for like 60 hours, and those 5 seconds of those 60 hours were the only time that I cracked a smile, honestly. I'm not sure if Sadashima is going to be prevalent in Aoi's route. The thing is, when they draw the not safe for work scenes, they kind of don't really do much of a differentiation with Kyoji's body and Sadashima's body. or like with the his lackeys and stuff. They don't really differentiate the male bodies, so you don't know who's, you know, banging the girls. Even when looking at the CGs, you can't really spoil yourself. Like, you don't know who's with the girls, because is it Kyoji? Is it Sadashima? Is it some of the other guys? You don't know. Like, you can't really tell, because they always give them like these weird, very strangely dark, weird anatomy bodies that don't fit any of the guys, really. Like, it just looks like the person who was drawing the guy's body in those scenes, they haven't seen any of the characters. I think Sadashima is gonna be in Kika's route. I have an inkling, like, I don't know, but I have a feeling he is going to be. But in Aoi's route, I have no idea if he is. Yeah, what about Sadashima-kun over there?
あいつさ、ほら、佐島病院ってあるじゃん。あそこの息子なんだ。
Well, you know about Sadashima General Hospital? He's the son of the owners. Kyoji knows Sadashima General Hospital well. It's the only general hospital in town. He went there in the past when he caught the flu.
あいつのグループさ、あんまりいい噂聞かないんだよな。教授に絡んでこなきゃいいんだけど。
Let's just say there aren't any good rumors about him and his group. I just hope they don't try to mess with you. Kyoji doesn't recognize them, so they probably weren't in the same class Kyoji went to. They probably came from the other school. His gaze meets Sadashima's. Sadashima directs a crooked smile at him before whispering something to his cronies, occasionally casting another glance at Kyoji. You can hear their snickering from the back corners of the class. Talk about nasty. Their attitude makes it clear just what kind of guys they are. They're definitely not the sort of people Kyoji wants anything to do with. Standing near to Kyoji, Shinta looks up at him. There's a hint of concern in his eyes, but Kyoji just shrugs. I'm not doing anything to mess with Sadashima-kun and his friends, am I? Soon.
そりゃそうだけど。
I guess not, but no need to worry about it then. Kyoji says this confidently while cocking an eyebrow.
そうかな。
Are you sure? Shinta whispers, seemingly unconvinced, and scratches his cheek again. The bell signaling the end of the break rings. Forget that. How will we go out after school? It's been a while. It's been a long while after all. Kyoji almost says that to Shinta before he heads for his desk, but then he hears Shinta mumble under his breath.
やっぱ教授大人っぽくなったな。俺の知ってる教授じゃないみたいだ。
Really are mature now, Kyoji. It's like you're not the same Gama I used to know. Hearing this, Kyoji unconsciously retracts the hand he raised to tap Shinta on the shoulder. God, I wish Shinta was the main character. Honestly, I like Shinta. Like, the only character I genuinely like, at least for now, is Shinta. He's the only character that hasn't done anything wrong. It hasn't done anything stupid so far, at least from what I remember. Yeah, I like Shinta, honestly. Things don't really change much by lunchtime. Kyoji munches on the money he bought from the school store and leaves the classroom. I guess a 3-year gap is wider than I thought. Shina keeps going on about how much he has changed, and people he'd hung out with all the time just 3 years ago were keeping their distance from him for some reason. Kyoji doesn't feel like he changed at all, so he's at a loss with how to handle this. This is weird. Aren't transferred students supposed to be kind of popular? You're not a cool kid though. You're a loser. Leaving his classroom, he leans against the corridor wall and heaves a sigh. Is it because he used to live here before? He lacks the curiosity-inducing flair a transfer student normally has, and at the same time he's been gone long enough to make it hard to re-establish his old relationships the way he used to be. He had a close friend or two in his school in the city, of course, so he never felt terribly lonely there. Oh, by the way, the same way he ditched all of his old friends from this village. Like, he never texted them, he never called them or anything. He never told them, like, what's going on. Did he do the same with the friends in the city? Did he just stop all contact with them? Just saying. To begin with, he was never a very outgoing person. At least, that's how Kyoji sees himself. Looking away from the stream of chattering, smiling students, he turns around and leans against the windowsill. He is trying so hard to be emo. A short distance away outside, he can see the slope leading up to Mount Nishimori. Mount Nishimori, huh? Just what happened back there? He probably ended up there without realizing it because he was half asleep. That must have been it. But it all felt so vivid. Welcome home. That faint voice, whispering ticklishly into his ear. From a distance, he could hear the sound of a ball being kicked, accompanied by cheering. Sunlight is warm, just like earlier this morning. The sky is clear and pretty. For some reason, Kyoji feels like a shadow is hanging over him and him alone. Reminds him of what Shinta said about those girls going missing. What's that all about? He doesn't remember anything similarly dangerous happening back when he used to live here. When he saw the town on his way to school this morning, it looked like just how he remembered it, a regular countryside town. But time has passed, after all, so it has probably changed in ways he can't see. Restless anxiety bruising Kyoji's chest. He may have returned to this town, but it doesn't really feel like he has come home. Just as his discomfort starts to overcome him, he has something that hammers in the final nail to the coffin of his unease. I told you, it's fine.
そう言うなよ。持ってやるから。
Don't be like that. Come on, I'll carry it for you. Casting a sidelong glance, he sees Akane carrying a large map, probably materials for the next class, and the guy he saw earlier, Sadashima. I said I'm fine. I can carry this much, no problem.
いいから。
Come on. Sadashima takes the map out of Akane's hands. Listen, how many times do I have to say no? You know what everyone in class is saying. As she moves to take the map back from Sadashima, Akane's eyes settle on Kyoji and she freezes up. Honestly, the thing I'm wondering, if in this route Kyoji is not interested in Akane and he's going for Aoi, will Sadashima try and go for Akane, or if because of the rumors of Kyoji and Akane being together, will he completely ditch Akane? Hey. Sadashima's gaze darts between Akane and Kyoji before he jerks his chin.
何？転校生と知り合い？
What? You know the new kid? Yeah, we used to go to the same school. Akane answers the question a bit reluctantly for some reason.
ああ、そうか。転校生は出戻りだったっけ？
Oh, right. The new kid moved back into this town, right? Sadashima's lips curl up into a crooked, mocking sneer, and then taps Akane lightly on the shoulder.
じゃ、俺はこれを運んでおいてやるよ。
I'll carry this for you then. With that said, Sadashima goes into the classroom. Seriously, what a nasty guy. He's just being friendly, honestly. Like, if you didn't know what kind of guy he is, I don't think you would be able to really judge him. Like, I know she's saying, like, you know, but with the way Akane is, she's very stupid, so she's kind of like, oh, come on, don't do that. Like, whenever Kyoji did it, she was like, oh my god, I fucking love him, I would suck his dick. And she did say in her route she had feelings for Sadashima as well. Thinking about him makes Kyoji's stomach churn unpleasantly. He has no concrete basis for feeling this way, but something about this guy just pisses Kyoji off to no end. Well, you're friends with him? Nothing wrong with that, is there? Akane looks up at Kyoji, still seemingly uncomfortable about what just happened. Yeah... Kyoji doesn't say that out loud, but he thinks it. He doesn't like this. He can't put his finger on what it is, but something about this whole situation just makes him unbelievably angry. Displeasure is probably showing on his face because Akane awkwardly looks away from him. I need to get back to class too. I'm on duty today. Ah, yeah. Akane turns around and bolts into the classroom. Going after her wouldn't be right, but he can't bear to just stand in the corridor like this either. In the end, Kyoji ends up waiting a few seconds before going back into the classroom himself. He passes by Akane while she wipes the blackboards clean as he approaches the seat. As he does, he gets the feeling that the girl from earlier, Aoi, is looking at him. Kyoji sneaks a glance over back at her. The moment she sees that he notices her, she immediately looks away. He looks ahead, takes a few more steps forward, and then turns around again. As suspected, Aoi is still staring at Kyoji. Once again, she looks the other way once she realizes he'd noticed her. What's with her? As he wearily settles into his seat, Shinta approaches him with an uncomfortable expression. Yeah?
さっきはごめん。妙なこと言って。
I'm sorry about earlier. I said some pretty strange stuff. You did? Kyoji feigns ignorance, which only makes Shinta frown.
なんだよ。俺気にしてたのに。
Come on, I feel bad about it. About what?
いいけどさ。
Fine. Shinta still looks a bit uncomfortable, but sits in the empty seat opposite Kyoji's for a moment. Actually, I've been meaning to ask you something.
何?
Yeah? You know Namiki, was she in the same class as us back then?
そうだよ。和ヤギとずっと仲が良かったじゃん。並木がどうかしたのか?
Yeah, she was. She's been friends with Kazuyagi for like forever. What about her? It's just, did I do something mean to her or something before I moved away?
なんで?
Why would you? She just looks at him, clearly puzzled. I don't know, it's just that she's staring at me for some reason. Shinta lets out a non-committal grunt as he looks at Aoi and then at
気
Kyoji.
にしなくていいんじゃないの? 並木って昔からちょっと変だし。
Well, don't worry about it. Namiki's always been a bit weird. Weird how?
暗いっていうかさ、何考えてるかわからないっていうか。和ヤギは仲良くしてるみたいだけど、他の女子と喋ってるの見たことない。
Like, you know, Gloomy. The can't tell what's going through her mind kind of weird. Kazuyagi's friends with her, but I don't think I ever saw her talk to any of the other girls. Shin's expression then clouds over.
ま、暗くなるのも仕方がない気もするんだけど。
Not that I can blame her for being gloomy though. What, did something happen to her?
うん。教授が転校してからさ、あいつの家って不幸が多かったんだよ。いろいろ。
Yeah, it happened after you moved out, but her family went through bad stuff, a bunch of bad stuff.
親兄弟が死んだりしてさ、それまで住んでた家も引き払ったとかなんとか。まあ、俺もあんまりよく知らないんだけどね。
Her dad and brother died, and her family had to move out of their house. That's all I know though. Huh. It sounds like she had to deal with. It sounds like she had a lot to deal with. Still, why is she staring at Kyoji so much? Maybe because you fucking forgot about her? She's been with you her whole childhood and you fucking forgot about her. As soon as Kyoji glances at her, she looks the other way and hangs her head. Oof, I'm tired from doing nothing. Made it through the day, one way or another. Shinja went out somewhere as soon as school was out, and no one really tried to approach Kyoji. Kyoji packs his things and hurries out of the classroom. He then makes way to the back of the school. He wasn't sure where the bicycle rack was, so he simply left his bike in an out-of-sight part of the lawn. Oh god, this thing. I gotta go to the bicycle store and get this thing fixed. His front wheels went flat this morning, so he needs to get that changed. Yeesh. Pretty annoying first day as they go. Feeling a bit dejected, Kyoji takes a turn at the corner and heads behind the school building. Because of the shade from the school building, the air is a bit cool here. The wind is picking up as well. As he walks around the thin shrubbery, Kyoji spots a group huddled around where he left his bicycle.
ってな、和ヤギのやつ赤くなってたよ。
Is what I said, and then Kazuyagi went red. After he hears that, what sounds like a bunch of croonies all cackle loudly. Sarashima and his gang. This must be what they meant by having a taste for irony. Those guys of all people all gathered here, of all places. Sarashima, who gives Kyoji the worst possible vibes, is currently sitting on the seat of Kyoji's bicycle, using it as a makeshift chair. Just now he mentions Kazuyagi, which definitely means he was talking about Akane. What do I do now? Leaving his bike here and going home is an option, but he can hardly barge his way into the group either, and besides...
あいつのグループさ、あんまりいい噂聞かないんだよな。 教授に絡んでこなきゃいいんだけど。
Shinja was right. They definitely have an air about them that makes Kyoji want to stay away. If he were to step out and ask for his bike, would they really listen to him? Nah, if anything, they'd just pick a fight. It's only his first day in school, so he doesn't want to get into trouble. He can just wait this out and come back later. Is what you should have done. But he never does. Sashima and his friends keep laughing vulgarly the whole time for some reason. It doesn't seem like they notice Kyoji. Kyoji turns around and makes to leave when one of Sadashima's lackeys speaks up.
ところで貞島さん、あの転校生うざくないっすか？
He is. He is. By the way, Sadashima-san, about the new kid. Isn't he kinda annoying? Kyoji stops in his tracks.
呉人東の連中に聞いたんですけど、あいつ昔タズヤギとなんかあったらしいっすよ。
Some of the guys from Kureito East. It seems like something happened between him and Kazuyagi.
なんかってなんだよ。
Something? Like what? Sadashima leans forward.
さあ、俺も細かいことは聞いてないんですけど、できてたとかなんとか。
I didn't ask for details, but they said they boned or something. The guy had the look of some comic book villain's lackey. Following that, another guy, who looked even more like a villain's underling, pipes up.
できてたって？カズヤギバージンじゃねえの？
Wait, they boned? You mean Kazuyagi isn't a virgin?
マジ？
Whoa, seriously?
それってあの転校生が相手ってことか？
And the new kid was the one who did her? Their loud, curious voices echo especially loud against the school walls. Kyoji closes his fist. It's like his body heat spiked up all at once. Just leave? They're rumors. They're rumors. If these kids just think they are rumors, they will forget about it, they will just laugh about it, and they will move on. They will just laugh about it and not do anything about it. You going there and just screaming or beating them up will just confirm that they are not rumors. And they will fuck up you and Akane's lives. So, if you weren't stupid, you would just leave. Sadashima grimaces visibly.
俺より先にあの転校生がカズヤギと？そりゃ確かに気に食わねえな。
You mean the new kid fucked Kazuyagi before I did? Yeah, that definitely ticks me off. Another scumbag chimes in with a cocky tone of voice.
それにめちゃめちゃ暗い並木。あいつまで転校生のこと意識してる感じなんすよね。
And then there's that emo chick, Namiki. It looks like she got a thing for the new kid too.
マジかよ、転校生超モテてんじゃん。
Really? Damn, the new kid's popular with the girls.
並木みたいなブスに好かれたって仕方ねえだろ。そんなことより。
Who cares about the ugly chick like Namiki? Forget her. I hope he forgets her. Sashima shuts down the discussion about Aoi and carries on with a clearly displeased grimace.
俺がカズヤギに手を出したら、あいつのおふるってことじゃねえかよ。冗談じゃ。
If I hook up with Kazuyagi, that means I fucked his used goods. Like hell am I. When Kyoji steps out of the bushes, Sadashima and his gang all turn to look at him at the same time. None of them suspected that someone might have been there. Kyoji looks around as they stare at him with a dumb, slack-jawed expressions before he says, "You're all losers. Wow, that really showed them. They're all going to beg for forgiveness now, aren't they?" Sadashima is the first to react. He hops off of Kyoji's bicycle, which he'd been sitting on crudely up until now.
今、なんて言った？
What did you just say to me? What, you deaf? Or too fucking stupid to understand what I'm saying? You're all losers. A bunch of douchebags is what you are. Wow, you're really giving it to them. They're really going to like go home and cry to their mommies after that, after you call them a bunch of douchebags. They're really never gonna get up from that one. God, how fucking old are you? when I was like 16 years old, even when I was 16, I was not going around calling people douchebags, okay? Like, the insults were a bit worse. Like, if somebody would have called me a douchebag when I was 16, I would have laughed at their face. Like, I don't know if it's just because I have survived living in Britain or what, but like, in Britain, at the age of like 10, you're not gonna call somebody a douchebag. At the age of 10, you're gonna like straight up say like your mom's a hoe. Sashima goes red in the face. Kyoji sneers at him. Is he actually like pissed off at that? Just don't make me say it over and over again. I bet you hear it all the time. Really? Sadashima slowly walks up to Kyoji, stepping a meter away from him. Seeing Sadashima up close like this really drives home how tall he is. Even though Kyoji is generally considered tall for his age, Sadashima has a few centimeters on him. Looks like my legs are longer though. Wow, what are you gonna do with that? Become a model? The fuck? After noting that oddly specific trait, Kyoji sneers at him again. Why are you so happy about it? The other boys follow Sadashima, moving in to surround Kyoji. Maybe it's because he's been in such a crappy mood all day. But this doesn't scare Kyoji. If anything, it excites him. He's a masochist. I'm saying he's getting off to this tonight. Sadashima raises his shoulders in a swagger and then stuffs his hands in his pockets.
そこまで喧嘩売ったんだからさ。そのまんま帰れるとは思ってねえよな。
Well, since you want to pick a fight that much, I'm sure you're not expecting us to let you go home whole, do you? There's 5 guys here, Sadashima included. If they surround Kyoji, he'll be pretty much hopeless. I kinda want to now make, like, an edit with, like, you know that one meme of, like, the guys behind the couch and then the one white girl? I might. But I don't know what the guys, like the croonies, look like. I don't know what fucking faces to edit there. God damn it. These guys are clearly sure they can't lose this fight either. The expressions are all brimming with confidence. That much is obvious from the relaxed, leisurely way they move. If they gang up on me, I lose. So that means... Kyoji glares directly at Sadashima.
なんだよ。
What? Sadashima, probably feeling something ominous from the look Kyoji gives him, furrows his brows suspiciously. Sorry, buddy, but I can't walk away from this one with a loss.
は？お前何言って？
Huh? The hell are you So I figured I should at least kick the shit out of the boss. Kyoji steps forward and slams his clenched fist into Sadashima's surprised face. Gah. After landing the first punch between Sadashima's eyes, Kyoji pulls back only to immediately sock him right in the stomach. Sadashima was clearly unprepared for an actual brawl because Kyoji's fist sink into him with surprise ease. Sadashima sags forward, his hands still in his pockets. Kyoji gives him a kick in the shins, causing him to sink to the ground in a strange, almost comical pose.
痛えファラ穴が折れ
Oh, you broke my nose! Sadashima rolls on the ground in pain, grabbing his face. Blood dripping from his nose spills between his fingers. That's what you get for acting tough, you asshole. Caught in the heat of the moment, Kyoji rears back to kick Sadashima in the
て
stomach.
めえ
You fucker! But at the moment, Sadashima's lackeys, who until now were only staring in shocked amazement, finally spring into action. Ouch! What? One of them reaches for Kyoji from behind, trying to twist his arm, but Kyoji twists in the opposite direction and shakes him off. Having freed himself, he continues to turn towards Sadashima. This time, he lands that kick into Sadashima's stomach successfully. He wildly shakes off the guys, trying to pull him away, continuing to blindly rain kicks on the other boy.
痛えよやめ
Ouch, it hurts, stop.
なんだよこいつ、どっかおかしいんじゃねえか？
What's his problem? This guy's fucking bonkers. Kyoji feels a blow on the back of his head. They manage to grab his arms for a moment, but then he shakes them off again, continuing to wail on Sadashima. He'll keep beating this guy up as hard as he can until he goes down. That's the only way Kyoji can come out of this situation with a win. As long as he can still stand, he'll beat Sadashima up. That's all he can think about.
できてたって？カツヤギバージンじゃねえの？
それってあの転校生が相手ってことか？俺が和ヤギに手を出したらあいつのおふるってことじゃねえかよ。冗談じゃ。
I mean, if you look at it this way, he's just saying the truth first off because yes, they did have sex. Spoilers, they did have sex. And second off, all he's saying is, oh, they had sex, so I'm not gonna have sex with her. Shouldn't you be happy about it? Sadashima just said he's not gonna have sex with her. Shouldn't you be happy about Sadashima being like, oh, I'll just back away from Akane then? Good. Like, I genuinely don't see an issue with this. Like, yeah, he did say it in a shitty way, but like, what he's saying is great. If I was Kyoji, I would be happy about this. I would be like, yeah, fuck yeah, good, okay, nice. I would leave him alone. I would be like, yeah, job done. Great. Kyoji's so fucking stupid. Like, if he stopped to think about what was going on, he would realize that what Sadashima is saying is that he will leave Akane alone. Now that he's fighting him, he won't fucking leave Akane alone. He also won't leave Kyoji alone, and he will probably start harassing Aoi as well, just for the shit of it. Kyoji's so fucking stupid. I hate Kyoji. I hate him. Kyoji's stomach churns with anger. There are punches raining down on him from every which way, but he doesn't spare him a moment of fall. He just keeps stomping and kicking, but when he slips over Sadashima's uniform, he realizes his legs can't support his weight anymore. It's like a fucking car crash sound, like God, it's so fucking funny. His head suddenly feels heavier than it should be. Something hits the back of his head. He thinks he can only hear the loud sound of metal hitting against something. Yeah, that's his fucking head. Showers of sparks fill his field of vision. They pin his arms again, and this time he can't shake them off. His vision blurs. He tries to kick in their direction, but his kicks only cut through air. He rolls on the moist ground behind the school. Kicks from any direction jolt his body. He can't even feel any pain. His vision is dyed red with pure anger. How fucking angry do you have to be to just see red? Whenever I feel faint, I see either white or black. Like when I have a really bad migraine or when I'm about to like pass out, I see white or black. But I don't think I've ever seen red. They're spreading these kinds of runes behind her back, and it's all his fault. That fault makes anger surge endlessly through him. I don't get Kyoji's fucking logic. Like, in Akane's route, Kyoji says that yes, this has happened. He has actually, like, you know, fucked Akane. And, like, the people who were there, they did tell that to other people, and that's why people at his school knew that that happened to him and Akane. And then they told other people, and that's why kind of like a lot of people knew about it. And then he just left Akane alone in that town to deal with it as a fucking victim. Like, that's why I hate Kyoji so much. Like, genuinely, he is absolutely irredeemable to me, and he will never be redeemable. Because, like, he left Akane as a victim of, like, not only, I can't even say the word because YouTube, of R, he left her as a victim of it, while also doing it to her. He left her there, alone, at the scene. He left her, he never contacted her again. He left her in the town where it happened, alone, with the people who did that to her. And he left her there. He fucked off. Never contacted her to be like, oh, I'm sorry that I did that to you, by the way. And I'm sorry that I left you with all those people who did that to you as well, in that town. My bad. He just left her there. he didn't even like tell her like where he's going, what he's doing. At least I don't think he did. I don't remember that. Yeah, the people who did that, they spread it, so everybody knew like that happened to Akane, and she had to live in that town alone with those people who did that to her, with the guy who fucking like put it in her, fucking gone, living in a city where nobody knew that he did that to another girl, living peacefully with new friends, being like completely like free and happy and living with no like, you know, sins and anything, just being like a happy kid, like, oh, I have no worries in my life. Well, she was having to deal with everything alone as a little child, with the people still around her, everybody in that town knowing what happened, like all of the kids in the school knowing what happened to her, and just talking about it and looking at her being like, oh, you were the victim. Oh, we know what happened to you. And she just had to live with that while going to school. And then she moved to the high school. And people still know about her because a lot of the people who she went to middle school with, they went with her to high school, so she still has to be with the people who know about it, even in the high school, and she still has to pretend everything's fine. And now the person who did that to her comes back without telling her that he's coming back, and he pretends nothing fucking happened, and he's fucking back again. Oh my god, I would fucking kill this man. I would stab him. I would kill him. And now he's doing shit again by like these people who were her friends, potentially like somebody who she could date. Like, yeah, he's a piece of shit, but like she doesn't know that he's a piece of shit. Like, yeah, he has rumors, but she doesn't know like how much of a piece of shit Sarashima is. But like, he acts really nice to her. Like, she only thinks he's a nice guy because he actually acts nice towards her because he wants that pussy. And she thinks that the nice guy, that the guy who fucking ard her, he's suddenly beating this guy who's acting nice towards her. The guy who fucking porked her is suddenly beating up the guy who was acting nice to her while he was gone. He's suddenly beating that bitch up. I would fucking kill that man. Just saying. And like, yeah, he heard rumors that she got defiled by the new kid. So it's like, oh, I'm just not gonna touch her. And to make matters worse, he beats the bitch up. So that just confirms it, first off, which makes shit worse. But also, he now, because he beats him up, he will have anger towards the new kid, Akane, and Aoi, which just make everything so fucking worse. Like, he could have just not come back and everything would have been just so much better. He could have just not existed and everything would have been so much better. This recording is gonna be so long because I am just yapping about how much I hate Kyoji this whole time. I fucking hate Kyoji so much. Oh crap. One of the guys kicking Kyoji lets out a few exclamation. The abuse suddenly stops. Okay, I think this is a good time to end. So yeah, that's the first episode. Yeah, let's continue later. God damn, yeah, I fucking hate Kyoji. I wish the worst for him. Honestly, I hate that in every bad ending, something bad happens to girls. Why? I hate this game. I hate this game so much because I wish every bad ending, the guy would just die in the worst possible way. No, it's the girls dying. Why? The girls don't deserve this. The girls deserve the best. This guy deserves to be fucking split open, executed in the worst ways possible. This guy deserves the worst fucking torture. This guy does not deserve all of these women trying to get with him while also being killed because a small fucking child is trying to pork him. I really like games where the main character is a horrible man, but like horrible things happen to him. I do like that because I thrive when horrible things happen to them. I do like it. But like, why aren't bad things happening to him? I want the worst things to happen to Kyoji. I want CGs of him being impaled everywhere. Why can't he be tortured? I fucking hate this man. Rant over. Goodbye.